Morning, happy Monday, everybody. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. As you know, I've been using the guidance cards, the oracle cards, for our Monday motivation. And when I woke up this morning, and I was asking myself what to do for our motivation this week, what came to me was to for this week and the next few weeks to do something from my book, actually, Value Me, The Benefits of Being a Highly Sensitive Professional. And the more I thought about that, the more appropriate I thought it was, because, I didn't write this book just for people to read and do nothing with. It's really about what you do with the information. Because if I've learned anything, from the HSP Awakening Summit, which I participated in last week. And I did my presentation on how to step up and be heard as an HSP. And I've received so much very positive feedback, telling me how helpful it was. So that's why I thought I would really dive into this a little bit more deeply. So let's start right at the beginning with the first chapter, which is Know and Accept Yourself. This is something that sounds, so obvious and so boring. Oh yes, know yourself, right? But if I've learned anything from the 26 years that I've been working with people, it is that we think we know ourselves, but we really don't know ourselves as well as we think we do. Let me read just a couple of paragraphs and then I'll go a little bit deeper with it. The first two paragraphs. Self-awareness is important for everyone, and it is particularly important for us as HSPs. We often complain because others who are not highly sensitive don't understand us and make us feel wrong for being who we are. This is definitely true for many, and if you want it to change, then it has to start with you knowing yourself at the deepest levels. Elaine Aron, clinical research psychologist and author of The Highly Sensitive Person, says, in today's temperament-ignorant social climate, if we claim we're different, we are thought to be weird, whiny, or arrogant. If we just try to do our work differently without explaining ourselves, people tell us we are going about our work wrong or ineffectively. So that is not entirely your personal problem. It is a social problem in that you are not understood or appreciated. So no, it isn't fair, but it is the way things are. Elaine Aron also goes on to say, until the work world changes, the problem of the kind of work you do as an HSP and the workplace where you do it is your problem to solve, fair or not. So it is our problem to solve. And this is true in a corporate environment. It's also true if you're in business for yourself. And so when I talk about self-awareness, what I mean is it's a lot deeper. As HSPs, what do? We go deep, we think deeply, we process deeply. Everything's a lot more intense and it goes deeper for us. And so you have to know yourself at the deepest levels. And this means being aware of everything that impacts you, right? So not just, okay, I am highly sensitive, I'm an introvert, I'm an empath, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, not just those things. I mean, it's knowing yourself, what impacts you, what affects you. What kind of people do you like to hang out with? What kind of things do you love to do that really energize you? What kinds of things drain your energy and leave you feeling depleted? What kinds of people leave you feeling depleted? What kinds of comments or situations really trigger you? What kind of environments do you like to be in? What is most important to you? What do you really value? And I find when working with people, when we start exploring this, people are often very surprised at what comes out of it, because there are things about themselves, they learn things about themselves that they had no idea of. And this is not something that you just do, oh yes, I know myself now. it's an ongoing process. It's a daily process. Ideally, you'll be learning something new about yourself every day. Or this happened to me today, and this is how I responded to it. Is that how I want to respond, or did I simply react? And I would like to learn how to respond in a more positive way. What was it that was triggered for me? It's radical self-awareness. It's self-awareness at a very, very deep level. And when you're willing to do this, so many things change for the better. You know, as Elaine Aron said, it is our problem to solve. It's up to us to explain to others. And I don't mean you go around explaining to everybody, oh, I'm highly sensitive and, you know, I need this or I need that. It's where appropriate and where necessary, right? So, for example, I learned that if I go somewhere like a conference, let's say a conference where there are many, many people, what used to happen is it would be so intense, the energy there would be so intense that I would get a headache, a really bad migraine headache. And what I used to do was force my way through it. And then I would go home and I would be knocked out for a couple of days while I tried to get over this and let go of some of that energy that I picked up. And what I learned to do, and it's as simple as this, is I learned to be able to say to people, because I never wanted people to think I was weird. I wanted to fit in with everybody else. But I learned to say to people, you know, it's feeling just a bit overwhelming in here for me right now. So I'm just going to take 5 minutes and go outside or, you know, go somewhere else and I'll be right back. And people said, okay, that's fine. That's all it took. It's just, you know, this is how it's affecting me. This is what I'm going to do, and I'll be right back. I mean, but it takes awareness of knowing how something affects you, and then what do you need to do to be able to reset your energy from that. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's at that much, much deeper level. So that's the motivation for this week. It's a big one. I mean, obviously, self-awareness is a big topic, and we'll dive into it a little bit more over the next few weeks. But just think about that today. And remember that you're changing all the time. So something that was important to you, or maybe has been important to you most of your life, you may come to a point where it's not really important to you anymore. And that's okay, but you need to know that. And sometimes we hold on to those things just because they've been important to us in the past, and we don't become aware that they're not important to us anymore. So that's something for you to think about as we go through the week. Just think about self-awareness, how well you know yourself. And one of the best ways to learn how to know yourself is through self-inquiry, just asking yourself simple questions like, how do I really feel about this? Why did this affect me in this way? What is it I need to learn from this situation? Just asking yourself questions like that is really, really powerful. So that's our motivation for this week. Just thinking about self-awareness and how well you really know yourself. Do you really know yourself at very deep levels? So I hope you have a fabulous week, and I look forward to connecting with you. Please leave any comments or thoughts or questions if you have them. I always love reading those. So I'll see you next week. Thank you.